Okay, I just got back from thrifting with my friends, and while we were at the thrift store, the hottest guy walks in, and I go up to my friend and I'm like, "Who is that?" And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "That. Who is that? Who is that?" And she looked, she's like, "Ooh." She's married. So I'm like, we have the same hobby. We're both thrifting. He's alone, he's tall, he's handsome, he's an adult, and he has no wedding ring on. Like, I can't just let him walk out of the store at this point in my life, right? So I'm like, I turn to my friend, I'm like, what's my move? Like, how should I just like hand him a slip of paper with my number on it? Like, what do we do in this situation? So I was like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. So I walk up to this guy and I was like, excuse me, my friend over there thinks you're cute, the one with the glasses. And then I go, and he's just like, and I was like, it's me. And he was like, oh, why didn't that work? That was so funny. If he doesn't think that's funny, he's not right for me, right? He's acting so uncomfortable. So I'm like, what? I'm like fumbling. I'm like, what do I do? What's my yes and in this situation? I look in his cart. I am flabbergasted to see it's full of Blu-rays and CDs. Oh, he's like 20. And he's buying these because it's like a throwback. Like, he didn't grow up on them and now he thinks they're cool. So he's thrifting CDs and Blu-rays, like, unironically. And I was like, so what are you, like, 20? And he was like 22. And I was like, cool. And I was like, are you single? And he was like, yeah. Honey, I'm handing it to you. I'm bouncing the ball to you. Like, bounce it back to me. I was like, are you single? He's like, yeah. I said, are you looking? And he was like, no, not right now. Sorry. Looks me in the eyes and is like, no. And I was like, okay, well, have a great day. Have a great life. I'll just play myself out. If you ever think, like, girls aren't out here prostrating themselves for men, like, I'm out here getting rejected by handsome men on the daily. You think that feels good? It does not. But you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott.
What do you think most women misunderstand about male dating frustration?
Men want to settle down. If you look at the data, the most recent data around young men, they want families still, they want marriage, they want commitment, they want legacy, they want to build something. The problem with women is that women set the standards for how other women operate. This is called intersexual competition. And with social media, with Botox, filler, eyelashes, these standards, right, to create contrast, and women will empower or position women to engage in the same types of behaviors that they deem to be empowering because they want to minimize the contrast between competition within the market. So all of that being said, women continue to present themselves in ways that do not align with male preference. Men will sleep with women who are attractive. They will engage with women that they are attracted to, but that does not mean that they will commit to the same bucket or tier of women that they lust over. Those are two very different strategies for men. And women don't understand that when men are looking for a long-term partner, they're looking for consistency, they're looking for emotional regulation, they're looking for loyalty, and they're looking for somebody that they can build a life with who has those qualities, the character traits, the morals, all of those things that are aligned with their vision. Men have a vision they want to bring to fruition. They're very purpose-driven. If the partner that they have in front of them is not somebody that they deem to be somebody who could support that vision, that purpose in their life, they're not going to commit to that. And unfortunately, women don't understand what men actually want for a long-term partner. They're all trying to keep up with the Joneses of other women who are getting a lot of attention because they fit the category of short-term mating and attraction, but they're not the caliber of women that men actually want to settle down with. And the more that women push other women to engage in these types of behaviors, the less that there is for men to choose from when it comes to long-term commitments.
So I've been, talking to this guy for the last 2 days, literally 2 days. Today makes the second freaking day. And I told him, he asked me to go out or whatever. And I told him, oh, dang, I just made plans to go bowling with my friends. He's like, oh, okay, where are you going bowling at? And I'm like, I don't really know the name of it. I just have the address. And I was like, it's somewhere in Buckhead. He like, oh, are you going to so-and-so? I'm like, yeah, I think so. I think that's the thing. I think that's the name. This man gonna say, oh, well, I think I should go bowling today too. Like, he's like, I might just pop up in there. You might what? I'm sorry, what? Me telling you I'm about to go bowling is not an invite. Like, are you crazy? We haven't even met in person yet. Like, you men And this is why y'all don't have no women now.
So did he actually pop up in there, or was it actually just him talking? I might pop up in there and see what you're up to. You know what I mean? Number one. Number two, well, we haven't met each other yet. Right. Y'all have been talking for 2 days. I mean, when do you, because you guys say that you don't want to pen pal. Where are y'all expecting to meet people? From my perspective, a bowling alley. If you're going bowling, that would be a fantastic way to do it. Now, if you're going with your friends, then that introduces a different element. But bowling is a great way. Well, I'm going with my friends, so but why don't you meet me for a drink afterwards? Oh, you don't want me to see your friend? No, I want you. I don't know you. I don't know you like that. And just leave it at that. Oh, okay. So what time you want me to be for drinks? I'll say about 6. We should be done by 6 or 7 or something like that. And, you know, women understand. They understand. If you were to walk in a little bit earlier and you kind of stand by the door as a man, you get whatever you need. You kind of get your whatever it is, your shoes, if that's what you want to do. And I know you're probably not going bowling, but you're there for a drink, but you pay for a game, and you just go over there and just talk. Hey, my name is James or something like that. And, you know, you introduce it to this is my date. Oh, hey, how you doing? That'll actually help you out, because now they have eyes on you and him. And now they're going to ask. Y'all say you want to be safe. Well, there's your safety. There's your security blanket right there. Okay, I saw her with James. We physically, and now if something happens, we have camera evidence to know James was with her at X amount of time. Right? Not saying that that's going to happen, but that's another blanket of comfortability and security. Have drinks with him and let that be it. Okay, so who is he? How did it go? Oh, he's just somebody I was talking to. It went pretty well. Or, oh no, it ain't gonna be it, girl. And that's the end of it. But I just don't know where y'all expecting to meet people at. I mean, a bowling alley is a perfect place. Whether you want them to come before or after or during, to let the girls get a look at them. I mean, I'm going out with my friends. You think you can handle my girls? You think you'll be all right bowling with a whole bunch of girls? And if he's some guys, they like a challenge. That's a challenge to them. So yeah, I mean, I got sisters. I ain't worried about that. And they know how to get in with you guys. So it ends up becoming a vibe, because the other ladies like him too, because he's cool. He's fun to be around. It's a win-win. You guys got to start thinking more positive.
Talking about something. I want a man who yearns. No, you don't. You don't want a man who yearns, because the guy that's in your DMs right now is doing the exact same thing. Like you're fooling yourself. If a guy was yearning for you right now, you'd call it the ick, or you'd find some way to find that unattractive. Even if he was hot, you would find that to be unattractive. Actually, no, I redact that sentence, because if he was hot, you wouldn't find it unattractive. If you had a Timothée Chalamet yearning for you, you would call that attractive. You would say, that's my king, that's my idol, that's whatever, and you would be at his feet, kissing his feet. If you had a guy that actually loved you for you and was actually trying to know you and get to know you and spend the rest of his life with you, you would still sit up there and be like, yeah, no, and that's the end of the story. Not saying that you're a terrible person. Not saying that. I'm just saying that you guys don't want a yearning person. You just don't. I don't know why you keep saying that you do. Like, there's nothing you can convince yourself that you want a person that actually wants to be with you and will sit up there and just loathe about you every single day and minute thought while you sit up there and go throughout your day and not think or give a care about them. You just won't do it. If a guy would do it to you and he did the exact same thing, not care about you, then all of a sudden it's a problem. But like, I don't know what's up, bro.
There are men that are looking for good women, and looking to be married and everything. And I think that we just need to know that, understand that. Because it is out there. And there's a man right now that's going through a breakup because a woman hurt him. Yeah. Not he hurt her, you know?
So you think there's men out here that's looking for a good woman in a marriage?
Yes.
Absolutely. And you think that they are a good man?
Yes. I think that a lot of men are yearning for good women. Because a good woman is not just a woman that's beautiful. or a successful woman. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that. So many of us is beautiful and successful and all those things, but it's deeper than that. A spiritual aligned woman, a woman that knows who she is, a woman that is coming to also be a servant. You know what I mean?
Come on, a helpmate.
You know, exactly.
A helpmate.
So
that's going to add value to your life.
And multiply.
Yes.
A good woman going to help you multiply anything that you touch.
Mm-hmm. A good woman going to turn your dreams and help you make your dreams reality.
Yeah.
She going to birth something in you.
Yes. She going to be an inspiration.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why they say when he finds a
he who finds a
yes,
good thing,
and finds favor from the Lord.
And you have
and I think people always forget that last part, favor from the Lord. So it shows you that when man gets a good woman, that he gets favor from the Lord.
Come on. Come on.
Favor is like what we all is out here wanting to be favored. Like, you see how.
Well, I agree with that. And most men do. Most men understand that a good woman is, she's hard to come by. But I think there's a lot of women out here that they think that because they're a woman, they quote that scripture and they're saying, well, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. A wife, not a woman. Y'all are well, I'm the prize because you got to find me as the woman, but you're not a wife. You don't have the qualifications. You don't have the drive. You don't have the mindset to be a wife. You're not a prize. The wife is the prize. The woman that actually supports, that, like y'all are saying, births something in the man, is a prize. That actually takes his life and the things that are unorganized, she starts to bring structure. She starts to bring order to those areas in his life so that he's efficient now, or he's doing great now. But when I come in, I bring structure and order to those things to where you can be better. That enables you to be better, to do more. That's a prize. But these modern women shaking their behind, tattooing their bodies all up everywhere, on their face, on their behinds, all over their chest, all over their genitalia. That's not a prize. Out here talking loud, talking crazy, every other word out your mouth is a cuss word. That's not a prize. You're masculine and you're aggressive.
Another reason why men are typically the problem when it comes to casual dating and not women is because men have a scarcity mindset. So whatever they do with you in a casual space, they're still attaching themselves to. Whereas, like, if I were to go out and have a good time with a man, let's say we went out, we got a bite to eat, went to the bar, we went dancing, I don't have ownership over that experience. Like, it's just something that I got to have with this person. I got to enjoy life in this space. In doing that, men cannot do that. They feel like they have to own everything, but it's really from a lack mindset. It's really from a scarcity mindset. It's really from, I gave you this thing and now this thing is taken from me. Like, it's very, it's emotionally immature, okay? Because, and I'll give you a prime example. There was a man a couple of years ago that I was seeing, and we were hooking up. It wasn't like there was going to be an issue of whether or not we were going to sleep together. We were already sleeping together. And all I said was, let's just do something. Point blank. That's all I said. Let's just do something. You ever been to that place up there with the speedy go-karts? Let's do the go-karts. You like mini golf? You want to do mini golf? Like, you want to go to the movies? You like going to the movies at a random time where, like, there's nobody there? Just get some popcorn, la la la. Like, let's do something and just, like, kiki and laugh and enjoy life. You want to go to the comedy show? You want to go up to that black restaurant? Like, you know what I'm saying? Anything. We could have done anything. And he was viscerally resistant to doing anything. Okay? But desperately wanted me to sleep over anytime I came, and I would never do that. I would go home and sleep in my comfortable bed. We ended up getting into a fight because I wouldn't sleep over. And my point to him was like, why would I sleep over when we don't do anything I fucking want to do? Why would I do more of what you want to do? At this point, we're just doing what we both agreed to, right? But I'm not really enjoying myself, right? Because, like, I don't have to do this. I am not thirsty for schmecks in the way that you are. I could just not do this. But my point is, if we're going to do this and enjoy this, can we enjoy other shit? Like, can we just live? Do you know what he said once he got cut off, blocked, okay? Purely. What's that guy say? Because we're not going to do that, okay? He, after stalking me and calling me on blocked numbers or whatever, and I explained to him, like, why would I continue this anything with you when we can't do shit that I want to do, and all you want to do is complain about how you want more of my attention and more of my time? His response was, I was afraid to apply that pressure because like I was afraid of where that might go. So you're scared of intimacy. And that's what it is. They're afraid of what intimacy really is. This is why they think that their partner is a concubine or their mom. They don't understand that having a divine relationship or any sort of adult relationship is a form of intimacy, intellectual intimacy, emotional intimacy, just being able to share thoughts. It scares them. Even when he already knew he had a willing participant. He already knew I wanted to do those things. So that made no sense to me. So I'm just like, all right, well, bye. And that's why they can't do the casual thing. They don't know how to live. They're too afraid. They think they're losing something every time they do something with someone else instead of expanding as a person.
So I'm confused. Did you want to take it to the next level or not? Because it seems like y'all were just friends with benefits at first, but then you decided, hey, I don't want to sit in the house. I don't want to do just this all the time. Let's go to go-karts. Let's kind of hang out outside of this, right? This is getting monotonous. This is getting boring. Let's do something out of this, outside of this, right? So at that point in time, you'd actually be dating. That's what you'd be doing. You'd be dating. So instead of just saying, I want to date, you kind of just started saying the man has a fear of intimacy. No, you guys started as friends with benefits is what it was. But then you wanted to like change and say, okay, I want to do something else. Right? I'm getting bored. This relationship is getting stale. I want another connection point with you. I think what you were trying to say is, okay, I like intimacy with you. I like that. But, I'm enjoying this part of you so much. What other parts of you do you have? What other services do you have? I don't know if y'all had that conversation, but if you didn't, you probably should have had that conversation to where you said, this thing between you and I know it started off fun and casual, but, I want to know more about you. I like this part about you. I enjoy it, but I want to know more about what you got going on, who you are as a person, right? I think maybe, I know we're, friends with benefits, but I would like to kind of, see what the friend side is. Like, we do the benefits, but what does a friend side look like? That's what you need to start communicating. Men don't have a fear of intimacy. Maybe he was confused on what was going on because it didn't sound like y'all had talked about anything. You just said, hey, let's go here and let's go there. And you were trying to maneuver him into something that y'all had not agreed on. Y'all agreed to just, hey, boom, 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 this, and this. And y'all might have even been seeing other people outside of that relationship, right? And now you want to say, okay, I've tried all of these other guys. I don't really like them as much as you. I want to spend more of my time with you. So essentially what would have happened is you guys would have phased out everybody else. He phases out all of the women that he's messing around with. You phase out all of the men that you're messing with. And y'all just essentially, we just come together. What's the harm in communicating that to him? What's the harm in saying, well, this is what I was thinking? Instead of, well, let's do this, let's do that. What's the harm in it? Hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? We always want to talk about a man's shortcoming. We always want to talk about how a man isn't measuring up. But then for modern women, when they're not out here measuring up and they're not saying it. They're not saying it outright. But you can hear, when you listen to them, you can hear, oh, she messed up here. She wasn't clear here. Oh, she didn't do what she was supposed to do there. But modern women don't really take accountability for their shortcomings in relationships, in my opinion.
Everyone is so concerned with what women are doing all the time. There's men out there right now on the Stairmaster That's a woman's birthright. Go climb the Great Wall of China.
If I'm in the presence of a man, regardless of his relation to me, so whether it's a boyfriend, my father, a cousin, an uncle, a coworker, a friend's man, whomever, and we are in a social setting, I should not have to reach for my wallet a single time. I shouldn't have to pay for not a thing. And I already know there's going to be men who are going to be like, so you're a gold digger, so you're broke, so you're this, so you're that. No, absolutely not. None of that. But, or however, in the society in which we live today, the least you can do as a man is play your part and pay the bill. Play your part and pay the bill. You want to spend time with me? You want to have access to me and my energy? Pay the bill. Y'all keep complaining about the male loneliness epidemic, but then y'all aren't doing anything to make women want to be around you. Maybe if you actually played your part as a man and paid the bill, women would want to spend time around you. And men really think I'm joking when I say this, but like I will be out and about. And if men are there, I'm like, oh, so you're picking up the tab? So the three men, you guys are splitting the bill, right? Right? And they'll look at me like, is she serious? And yes, I'm very serious. Because you're here. Why are the women paying? You're here. Pay the bill. And they often will, sometimes reluctantly, but they'll do it. Because again, that is the least you can do as a man in this society. The least you can do if you want to spend time with women, pay the bill. Pay the bill.
You know why they do that? Because men don't want problems. Men don't want chaos. And right then and there, the man is saying, you know, I could, that's why they kind of look at each other. Y'all are not getting the communication that's going on between men at that point in time. But a man is looking at another man like, is she serious? Is this female serious? And because they kind of want to keep things, you know, he's like, oh, you know, if this was a dude, then we might have a problem because you talking crazy. And I'm assuming, or at least I hope that I'm okay to assume that you wouldn't be talking crazy to him like this. So when you say, well, the least you can do is pay the bill. Well, the least I can do is provide for the woman that is mine, that I'm committed to, that I'm engaged to, or I'm married to. That would be the least I can do. But for you, it's a privilege because you and I are enjoying each other's company at that point in time. You're nobody special. I'm nobody special. We're just two people talking and getting to know each other. As a matter of fact, a lot of modern women, quite honestly, have not earned even an appetizer. You haven't even earned some chicken wings. You're not that good of a person to be around. You don't have the type of energy that would be worth paying for. You're not a millionaire. You don't make things happen. Things don't automatically become peaceful around you, nor your girlfriends. You're just there. Oh, well, basically what you're saying is pay for me to entertain you. I am your entertainment for tonight. And if you're selling it, then just say that. Just say, I'm going to sell it. And let that be it. Like we can go back and forth, but if you're selling it, just say that.
I just tell you about a phenomenon that I am very confused by. There appears to be an epidemic with men in their mid-30s who still do not know how to kiss a woman properly. I have two particular instances. One, my last long-term relationship, I had to tell the man on our third or fourth date, because it was that bad, we've been kissed a couple times, to put his tongue into my mouth. Into my mouth. He was kissing me like this. Like, what is that? Now, after he was taught, everything was great. Kissing was amazing. Again, I'm back dating. Go on a date with a guy a few times. Second date, he kisses me. Now, it's just a peck. Fine. Second date, first time kissing, get it. Fair. Third date, same thing. Just a little peck. These men are like 35 years old. What am I missing here? Did you not kiss people in your 20s? Did no one tell you what to do?
Respect. Respect. That's what you're missing, is respect. I understand that I can kiss you, but after 3 dates, we don't really know each other. Respect. That's what he's giving you. Well, I'm not sure how far I'm able to go. I'm not sure how far you're comfortable with me going. I don't know you. You don't know me. We've been on 3 dates, so maybe that's a month or so. Probably within the first month. I've only known you for a month. And you want me to put my tongue down your throat? That's... Most women, I thought, would find that weird. You see how that could be a little bit confusing? You guys at some point in time need to become more self-aware. You're not the only one in the dating world that has to think about things, that has to figure out logistics. Man, you guys say that guys aren't respectful, and they are being respectful, and you're still criticizing them for that.
You know, this used to be my mentality too, like let the guy do the approaching. If he wanted to, he would. But I think we need to get out of this mentality. Like, as girls, I feel like this is what causes us to end up in relationships with people who want us and not the people we actually want.
Men are a lot more passive. In my experience, they're a lot more passive. They're looking for why.
Yeah, why and how? Maybe better
how?
Yeah.
How?
Jail.
One, like I said, they don't take initiative. Like gone are the days where a man would be like, "Hey, you know, I think you're beautiful. I wanna get to know you."
Courting.
Courting. They don't court anymore, right? That's number one.
Because they don't want to go.
Yeah.
To court.
Number two, this was so goofy. What am I even trying to say, bro?
I'm just saying. It's like court. I don't like that word. I mean, keep it 100. Keep it 100. As you as an NFL guy, with all the professional athletes getting taken to the fucking bank by a lot of some of these women, scallywags, you know, divorcing to get money, getting babies to get money, that leaves a big impression. Like, God, if I see a pretty girl, is she pretty and is she trying to take me, or does she have her own? Like, does she have her own? She isn't about that. It's like what we see on TV it leaves a stain in society. Like, what you're seeing, I'm afraid of these women now.
Because I wonder how does that culture change? Like, and do you feel like the culture has changed so much, like the pendulum has swung so far to one side that it's produced a lot of the passive men? Because I think a lot of men, like, if you come on strong and be like, oh man, he was aggressive, or he's toxic, or he's like, so there's this like, where's the give?
No, it's not black and white. It's not like either you come off strong, you're a man, or you're toxic. Like there's gray areas in all of this, right? There's a right way and a wrong way to do some things. Like you can still come off like, I don't want to say strong. Yeah, you can still come off strong in a way that's not gonna scare off the woman. Like, for example, that first dude who was in my DMs, some can consider that coming off strong, but to me, at least, it wasn't scary. It was like, all right, he gave me an option. Like, do I want to go on a date with him on this day at this place? You know what? I don't got nothing to do.
But some women would be like, can you believe he asked me?
But that's everybody is different.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
You
So it's
have to
tough.
figure out who you're talking to, what language she understands, and how to speak her language in order to communicate with her. Like that's part of, honestly, not even just man to woman. That's part of just being a human. Like there's different ways to communicate with someone. So like I could tell that you're a direct, straightforward person. I could go to you and be like, Godfrey, honestly, this haircut is not for you. Try something else. Try something new. And I feel like you wouldn't take that as offense. You'd be like, what you mean? Oh, you know what? I could try a different haircut. And then you try a different haircut. Where I can come to you and maybe you're not as I don't care. I just want it directly. Let's say you're a little softer. You're like, I'm not liking the bald. And then you could take it as like, oh my gosh, she thinks I'm a bald-headed demon. Like, you know, you could take it some other kind of way. It just, if I know you and I've rapport with you, I understand like, okay, this is how Godfrey communicates. This is how you communicate. And if I know how you communicate, then I know how I'm able to effectively speak your language. Because at the end of the day, a message is only as good as a message is only as good as the recipient is able to understand it.
And you said something that made a lot of sense, or that I kind of wanted to focus on. That's just part of being a human. Correct. So when a man comes up to you and he's talking to you and he's having a conversation with you like a normal human being, then that man deserves that respect. He deserves that much respect as a human. Well, how come men are scared of women in 2026? Because I don't even think it would be scared of women. It's afraid of the foolishness. I don't think you guys really understand that men, once again, don't like chaos. They don't like it. A lot of modern women keep up mess. They keep up nonsense, and men don't like it. I'm afraid that you're going to start with the foolishness, with the BS. It's just like a woman was talking about a few minutes ago. I tell the man, the least you can do is pay the bill, play your part and pay the bill. And a lot of times they'll look at each other. Most of the time they'll go ahead and pay the bill, but they'll just kind of look at each other like what's going on, right? They're trying to figure out if they want to take this to the next level, or is it just worth it to pay to get the chaos out of the way? Is it just worth it to pay to keep the nonsense quiet? That's what you're getting paid for, and you thought it was a flex. You're getting paid to be quiet. He's paying you to keep the drama out of his life. And this is what we have here. Men are drama averse. It's risk management, cost benefit analysis. If I have to sit here and be around somebody that is not going to treat me like a human, then I'm not going to be there.
Look, do whatever you want. But I'm telling you right now, if you actually hate men, you're not going to find a good man. It's as simple as that. I know. Last time I made a video about this, I had a man comment, "My wife hates men and we're happy." I'm sorry. Go sit in the chair. Go sit in a corner in the chair now. You're in a timeout. And also, yes, that kind of chair.
I'm going to use your comment to respond to like a couple different things that are being said in the comment section. And thank you for being like respectful, especially as a guy, because when we talk about dating on here, it can start to get real like gender warish and get weird. But anywho, people are saying, oh, he probably didn't pick up on your social cues and, all of this. But my thing is that nonverbal communication is communication, and it's actually more common than verbal communication. So if I gave you 2 separate occasions back to back, this was all happening within like a 3-minute time span, you didn't think to interject at any point to say, oh, let me take care of that for you, especially considering we both parked at the same place. You said, oh, did you park in that parking deck? So you parked in that parking deck and you paid, right? So it's a paid for deck. So to sit there, watch me turn to the side, pull my card out of my purse, sitting across the table from you, holding the card in my hand, typing the info in, and you don't interject at any point. He literally just sat there in silence and waited for me to finish paying before he picked up the conversation. And I was just like, oh. The restaurant we went to was nice, but had he picked another restaurant that was nice but not as expensive and paid for the parking, that would have been more appreciated than him not paying for the parking and us going to a nicer restaurant. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not about the money. It's just about making sure that, all the expenses are paid for concerning the date when you invite me to a date with you, especially like on the first date, because I would like to think, or at least I'm always going to think, that the first date is just a preview, it's just a window as to what I'm going to expect from you throughout the duration of us dating. So if I notice on the first date that you're not being attentive, why would I, want to pursue anything further?
Honestly, I think you can handle $15 parking, right? $10. I don't know how much it was. I think you can handle it. I think you're big enough. I think you're a big girl. You can handle it, right? Without getting upset. You might go to interview. The job might say, oh, we don't validate parking. So that parking is going to be on you. You might be a little bit peeved about it, but if they call you back for a second interview, you're going to go, right? Even if they have you, even if they meet you for lunch and they have you pay for lunch, if it's a good opportunity, you're going to go back again. You say, well, wow, they made you pay for lunch. Yeah, but you know, it ain't gonna matter if I'm making 150. Yeah, all right, I'll pay for lunch every day. And you laugh about it. He allowed you. He didn't even do anything to you. This was just your role and responsibility as a normal adult. And I thought about it, and I was like, why would I have never even done that? Because I never went to a place that expensive where parking and valet was even a thing, unless it was a situation where we bought the car, like we were going in the same car. If I'm taking my car, then yeah, I'm going to pay for parking. So, I mean, that's a no-brainer. But if we're taking separate cars, I think you'll be able to handle it. You know, like I said, you're a big girl. You can handle it. You'll be all right. I think, you know, at some point in time, you guys have to realize that you don't want to be married. And that's why men aren't marrying you guys. You just want to be wined and dined. Like, parking is such a small deal. Well, nonverbal cues, it's such a small deal. Like, it doesn't mean anything. The man paid the tab. You didn't say that you had to think about, you know, pulling out a card for the tab. You just said, well, you know, I was pulling out my card for parking. Well, I wanted him to pay for all the expenses. That could have been something that you talked to your girlfriends about. That's dumb. I think I went to talk to my wife about it. She was like, yeah, that's stupid. That's dumb. Why? I mean, it's parking. Like, what? Now, once again, like I was saying, if you go with somebody else or you go with both you guys are in the same car, you pick her up and y'all go in the same car, the same vehicle, then yeah. But y'all are going in separate vehicles. You don't know the man. It's a first date. Go ahead and pay your tab. As far as parking goes, he pays his. And then you go in there and eat, talk, laugh. Oh, man, he's a nice guy. He's a pleasant guy. Now, that second time, y'all might get together and he might say, hey, you know, I know this might be a little bit forward, but I wanted to know if you want to meet there again, or would you mind if I picked you up? Oh, yeah, you can pick me up. Okay, you know, where should I meet you? You want me to come to your address or your house? I know some women are uncomfortable with that. I can park down the street and, you know, you walk around the block. I don't know how you want to do it. However it, whatever makes you feel safe. But, yeah, if it's all right with you, I'd like to stop by and pick you up and maybe we can have a nice car ride over there. Oh, yeah, sure. That'd be nice. You know, shoot, for me, I'd even go the extra mile and say, and if, you know, obviously if it don't work out and, you know, there's some stuff in there that, you know, you and I don't see eye to eye on and we blow up, like it's just a blow up, like, oh no, I hate you and stuff like that. I'll get you an Uber home, or you can call an Uber and you can send me the money if you don't want me to know where you live, or send me the request. I'll pay for your Uber back to the house. Right. But if, you know, it's not a match, then I don't mind taking you home. That's fine with me. You know, it is what it is. Just be respectful. Just be respectful. Y'all are going to live y'all's life single and alone because of stupid stuff like this.
In a matriarchy, women would hold the highest positions in government. The world would have majority female-led societies and civilizations. We would be the top CEOs and run Fortune 500 companies. And we would make laws about men's bodies.
I thought women wanted equality. You wanted it, you got it, we're equals. You will never be equal to us. You could pay for literally everything and it still won't even come close. Get on your fucking knees.
I am so sick of watching shows where there's this like stereotypical woman that's in her 30s to 40s to 50s, whatever, and she's like a super successful woman and she's like head of her career, and then there's like this conversation she has with people where she's like, oh, like I have it all, just don't have a partner, I haven't been on a date in so long, and I have it all, but I don't have the husband, I don't have the kids, I don't have the family. She's always so fucking sad. Like, she's always so depressed and so like fidgety and shit, and I'm like, a successful woman is such a fucking prize. Like, a successful woman should never have to worry about if she's going to get a man or whatever, or like if she's missing out on things. You have everything you need. If you have financial freedom, if you have a good community, if you have your own skill set and your own confidence in yourself, you have everything. And so the idea that like they have everything but they don't have the love life, what? It fucking further teaches us that like we need to have that in order to be socially accepted, which is like, again, crazy. Like, a huge commitment of our lives is getting married and having children. Like, that is the biggest thing you can decide for yourself, and yet we feel like we have to, because then we'd be missing out on things. Like, no, you are fine. You can have that community, you can have that partnership, you can of course you can. Like, as long as you're fucking confident and secure within yourself, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You're not missing out on anything. You have everything you need. You're a fucking prize. Like, you are the prize. Are you kidding me? For anyone who feels that way, I just want to say, I remember seeing something about how like women in their 50s are like the happiest demographic. Single women in their 50s, we're fine. I used to think that I had to be married before I was 30 and start having kids when I was 30 and all blah blah blah. Now I'm like, bro, that is not something that you should ever plan because you have to. That is your whole life. That is something you choose because you want that. You want to commit your life to fucking children. You want to commit your life to a partnership or whatever. Like, you want to, not because you feel like you should. And if you feel like you are influenced by society and you're susceptible to that shit and you feel that pressure, take a step back. Find yourself. Realize that this is it's all for a reason. The pressure is for a reason, right? Like, everyone's projecting. That doesn't mean that pressure means anything. It doesn't. You're telling me that being a successful woman with your own money can do whatever the fuck you want. You can buy whatever the fuck you want. You can go wherever the fuck you want, right? You don't have any commitments. You're telling me that's not enough? That is everything. I just want to see less of that representation of women, because to me, now that I'm grown, it doesn't make sense. But when I was younger, I was like, oh fuck, like, yeah, what is a successful career if you don't have a family? Like, what is it? Ugh, like, and then you feel that pressure again. It's just like, it's just not great for young people.
I understand where you're coming from, but it's just, I think there's a lot of immaturity there, to be honest. You're thinking because somebody gets to the top of the mountain and they say, well, and you've heard athletes kind of do the same thing, to where they're like, man, there's got to be more out there. Like, I think there was one guy that was talking about, hey man, I just won whatever golfing tournament it was, and he was like, man, I'm going to celebrate it, I'm going to appreciate it, I love it. It's just, you got to turn around and you got to do it all over again. You got to do it all over again. It's almost like it never happened. People are looking for more. People are looking for the next big thing, and you have to come back almost and honestly and truly the next day. I've seen it to where within like a week or so, the people are back in the gym. They're grinding again, and you're like, man, when does it ever stop? When do you ever take a break? I don't take a break. This is the only thing that I focus on. And then when I pop out and I zoom out, and I was like, okay, what's more important? What's the most important thing? Then I find, hey, I would like a family of my own. I would like a unit of my own. That's okay. Like, I don't know why y'all get on here miserable and everything and try to demonize what somebody else would want. They would want a family. Y'all are so stuck on, well, I have all the money that I need. Okay, then have the money that you need. But if a person come up here and say, yeah, I got money too, but I would want somebody to spend my life with. I'm looking for that. Oh man, you don't need that. You don't need that. You don't want that. You don't need that. But if a woman comes out here and says, yeah, I would like a family. I think a family is important. So that's something that I'm seeking. And they're making these movies because it resonates with somebody. Somebody feels like that. You look like you're probably 21, 22 or something like that. Honestly, for you probably need to get a job or something like that. You probably need to get a job and figure out what you want to do with your time. You need to be figuring out your career instead of trying to give somebody dating advice. Don't nobody want to hear your opinion. Honestly, not at all. Like that, and that's a problem with modern women. They get on here and they just start talking. They have a whole lot to say, but not a lot of it makes sense. To be honest, not a lot of it makes sense. They just get on here, ramble, they blabber, and then by the time you listen to them, you be like, oh, okay, I was feeling this way, and like, yeah. When you feel that way, it's essentially them saying, yeah, when you feel like you want a connection, you feel like you want somebody to talk to and have a serious conversation, go down a bottle of alcohol. Just go drink a pack of beer and you should be fine. That's what I always do. That's not healthy. Why are you doing that? Oh, well, it always works for me. That's not healthy. You need to stop doing that. That's how you sound giving dating advice. With the worst advice, stupid logic, and with a dumb look on your face.